Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to actually be interviewing my client, Scott. Scott recently hit just under $11,000 in a rolling 30-day period with his Amazon business, and he's been in the program for a couple of months. So we're going to take an inside look into his experience with the program, with his business, some of the obstacles that he had to overcome, and some tactical tips to help you guys reach similar results to him. But I'm really excited for you guys to hear what he has to say because Scott is very relatable. Similar to myself and similar to a lot of you guys watching my channel, he has never started his own online business. He has never made his first dollar online before joining the program. So for him, the biggest question was, is this real? Can I actually make money selling on Amazon? And let's see what he has to say.
My name is Scott Eben, and my Amazon journey kind of started just under a year ago. My wife and I were kind of talking and just decided we had to do something different, try to make extra money wherever we can, and try to make our dreams come true outside of our regular job. So that's how we kind of started down the Amazon path, but had no idea where to start. So we started just looking online, and she actually found your course, your wholesale course. And I was looking at all the different kinds of models and everything, and it seemed like wholesale was the way to go. So I signed up for the course, took the course, and it was awesome. I learned so much. And I actually did do some wholesaling, placed some orders, sold through all of that. But as time went on, I was kind of thinking maybe I needed to switch to arbitrage just because of the capital involved with wholesale, all the different stuff there. And it seemed like arbitrage was maybe had some a little more control that I would have a little more control over. Didn't take quite as much capital and was still an effective way to sell and make money. So right at the time as I was thinking of that, you came out with your course for arbitrage, and that helped a ton. Kind of got me on the right track. And honestly, within the first day after I looked through the course, I was able to start finding profitable products.
Yeah, I think we did like a little experiment to see how fast you could find something. I think you found something like 30 minutes, right? Something
Yeah,
insane like that. Yeah.
yeah, I did. I just kind of, I wanted to look into pet supplies. So I hopped on Chewy and just started looking and using the different software that I was taught in the course. And it wasn't like a crazy product, but it was profitable. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, do you find that the workflows or the frameworks, the sourcing frameworks helped you at all?
Yeah, definitely did. Definitely did. I would have no idea where to even start. And I did find that first product just manually searching on Chewy, but I know there's different ways to do it. And as I once I did that for a while, then I kind of moved into KPF and did some storefront stocking, and it just was more efficient for me. But it was kind of building with that manual sourcing, looking at Seller Amp, at the different things on there, kind of learning what to look at, and then I was able to use that for KPF and storefront stocking and continue to push that way.
Yeah, and I think those are like the three big ones. Like those are the three that will give you a lot of success is manual sourcing and you pair it with storefront stocking. And then KPF is super underrated. People are really starting to use it now. And like I really
Mhm.
want to dial in like my KPF knowledge because I want to come out with a whole update to arbitrage, even though I just released it like was like 2 months ago or something, and
Right.
go much heavier into KPF because I think that's such an underutilized sourcing method.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much stuff on there. I don't think I even know the beginning of it hardly. It's just there's so many different filters, so many ways you can kind of critique what you're looking for and really hone in
Yeah.
on a certain thing, to find something super specific, and find your leads that way.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say was like your biggest challenge getting into wholesale or like not even wholesale, getting into Amazon FBA in general, regardless of wholesale, regardless of arbitrage, like just getting things going? Because I know you said you were looking around for like a year or like researching the model for a year. So what was like your biggest challenge before you joined the program?
Yeah, I've never had a business or anything like that. No one in my family has either. So it was kind of totally new for me. I kind of had to make that mental hurdle of, okay, I'm going to be a business owner. So that was
Mm.
kind of hard. And then one from there, it was just figuring out the different organization, how I needed to handle everything, make sure I'm staying on top of everything, and kind of just keep things straight that way. Once I was able to dial that in a little bit, things started to kind of fall into place.
Yeah, I think that mental hurdle, along with a lot of like other mental hurdles and fears, starting your own
Hmm.
business and starting to invest money into inventory, it's like that's a big like barrier for people. Like a lot of people
Yeah,
never even
definitely.
get past that, right? It's like start a business? Like, don't I need all this and all of these things? Am I ever even going to be profitable?
Yeah.
Am I going to be profitable my first year? And all of these things. And it's like, my biggest thing is, as long as you just take a couple steps forward into that direction, that fear or that big scary unknown will just kind of dissipate, and then you just kind of build more and more confidence into what you're really capable of bringing
Right.
to this business of yourself, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that first time when you spend that big amount of money is incredibly scary. It's you don't know if like you're going to see return on that or not, even though the data tells you you will. It's just it's hard to get past that mental hurdle, and it's something I still struggle with, but I've been able to push through it. And it's you have to trust the data, trust what you're seeing, and trust yourself. That the work you put in and that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have data on our side, fortunately, because I've done private label in the past when I first started. And dude, that is just a straight up guesstimation. Like, you don't
Right,
have any data on anything that you're doing. You're taking essentially, this product is doing really good in the market. I think I can replicate it and hopefully take some customers from them. And then you recreate everything and hopefully it works. And like with what we do with these branded products that are all have built-in demand, it's like Keepa will tell you, this is how much you should order. Like, this is how well it's
right.
doing. Will it sell? Will it not? You know, even on variations and really advanced listings that you may not have any idea, it's like there's ways to navigate through that so that we make sure that we're most likely going to sell out of our inventory and we're not just buying duds over and over again. Then we get stuck with
Right.
without selling anything.
Right, for sure. Yeah, there's so much there right at our fingertips. It's just a matter of learning how to understand it.
Yeah, and then you said something about, putting up the money in the beginning, like making your first purchase, and then, your orders get bigger and bigger. I'm big on even just buy a product. Like, even if the ROI isn't anything insane, it's like the mental win that you'll have from, I bought something, I sent it in, it sold, I made a little bit of money to prove that concept. It's like that will do wonders. That will be more valuable than the profit you're going to make off of that first product.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that first product, shortly after I bought it, some other people came on, price dropped, from where it was, and I was about breaking even. But it was just like you said, that hurdle of, all right, I did it. I see sales coming in. It's cool to see, even if I know I'm not necessarily making a lot of money off it. It's like, okay, this is real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you need. That's what most people need in the beginning.
Hmm.
I know that's what I needed. I'm like, because dude, like similar situation to you. No family with ever had any business or anything like that. I'm like, I was in law enforcement. It's like farthest thing away from starting your own business. And it's like
Hmm.
I just needed to prove that it was real to myself so then I could double down on it. Right.
Yeah, right.
And that's good that you figured that out as well. So you had said that you were kind of shopping around, looking at other videos or other courses. I'm not sure when your wife stumbled across us, but what made you join the Wholesale Underground specifically?
Yeah, so it was a number of things. You're looking around at some of these courses, and a lot of the ones like you Google it, and the ones that come up right away, it's just super expensive. First of all, you don't really know what you're getting, and so the cost was a big thing for us because, like we never did this before, so it was a big thing. So it was one that made sense for us, and then also the fact that there's the Facebook group, we have access to you, send you messages and get help and everything like that. And those were the three big things. Is like financially made sense for us. There's the Facebook group where you can talk to other people, figure things out, and also we have access to you, and can bounce ideas off you. So it's like I felt like it was an opportunity for me to learn everything I need to learn and not go totally blind.
And how have you found like the mentorship work out for you? Because that's something that a lot of people have like a hard time wrapping their heads around because they're so used to Zoom calls once a
Mhm.
week or however it is. And since
Right.
I do everything over Messenger, it's like some people have a hard time wrapping their heads around it. So how has that worked out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it worked out good for me, especially because I mean, I work a full-time job, so I can't be on Zoom calls all the time. The messenger was something I could, I'm sitting at my desk at work and I can, send you a quick message or something like that. It was, basically, I could ask questions at any time I thought about them, and it was just a matter of not having to schedule a meeting or anything like that. That was really handy. I just kind of had unlimited access, I guess. I mean, not that you're responding necessarily right away, but responses were timely, and I didn't have to wait to get on Zoom, which is something I'm not necessarily, I'm not a big camera person anyway, so that also
Mhm.
helped out.
Yeah, dude, I've been in some of those programs. I've joined a lot of like coaching programs in the past, mentorship groups, and it's like I think the most expensive one I've joined is like $10,000 for like 3 months or something crazy like that. And it's all Zoom once a week. And if you schedule a Zoom, it's like you said, like you have to wait for that time, right? And it's not going to be today. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 days from now. And it's like with this business, I think it's so valuable that you have somebody in your back pocket that, hey, I have this problem. I just need a quick answer. I just need to figure this
Right,
out. Because with business, as I'm sure you're starting to notice, it's like there's always something that's kind of slowing you down, or
right,
you hit this hurdle, or this you don't know the answer to this question. It's like if every time you hit a hurdle or obstacle and you didn't know the answer and you had to wait 1 week to figure out how to get over that, it's like your progress is going to be very, very slow.
right.
So opposed to
Yeah,
like you have access to me all the time and it's me, and it's like, hey, well, how do I solve this? Boom, solved in 1 day. If you run into three problems, boom, solved all in 1 day. And it's like your
right.
progress is that's why even in the Facebook group, you see yourself and like Davis and Chadley and a couple of others are like they're starting to get momentum really quickly, hitting those 10K months or on their way
Hmm.
because it's like obstacle, we solve it, we keep moving. Obstacle, we solve it, we keep moving. And
Right.
that's the progress that I want to have. I like to make myself really accessible to you guys. And like you said, it's like it's not instantaneous, right? That's impossible, but it's like every single day I'm answering
Yeah,
questions.
definitely. I mean, I don't think I ever had to wait more than a day, and more often than not, it was in a couple hours.
Yeah.
It was super helpful. There was never a time where I felt like, boy, I'm really held up by this one thing right now that I can't move forward at all. I
Yeah.
always felt like I was able to keep going because I was able to get answers to my questions in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's good to hear, dude. Because I try to make myself so available because I'm like, I remember what it was like joining those programs
Hmm.
and you don't have access to anybody. And it's like I hated that, right? So it's like for me, it's like
Right.
I never want anybody to feel like that. If you're investing in me, it's like I'm gonna make myself so available because I remember what that was like. So kind of talking about where you're at now, can you tell everybody like what's your highest rolling 30-day sales numbers?
So my highest right now is just under 11,000.
Okay.
That was during December, so I definitely had the Q4 stuff helping me a little bit, but it was it by far blew out anything I've done in the past, and I'm keeping that momentum going. So it's been really good.
Yeah, how do you think that 10K changed like your vision for the future as far as your goals? Because I remember you kind of briefly talked about like wow, like I can really grow this or I really want to. I feel
Yeah,
like that 10K mark is such an important mark because it's like that's when people are like, holy shit, like I can really do something with this.
yeah, definitely. It's like so when I first started, I was talking to my wife, and it's kind of like, man, if we can get $1,000 in sales in a month, that'd be so cool. And then it's like, okay, 3,000, and then it's like, okay, let's get $1,000 profit, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we broke 10K, and it was just so cool, and it's kind of an addicting feeling. It's like it almost felt, I don't know, it didn't feel like enough. It
Hmm.
just felt like, all right, 10K is cool, but what's next?
Yeah, yeah. But tell me how that felt, dude, for you and your wife, because it's like you said, nobody's ever had a business in your family. You're like a couple months ago, you're like, is this even real? And now you hit just under 11K. So like, how does that feel to hit that accomplishment?
It's awesome. It's kind of like, I mean, I've been putting a lot of time into this, and my wife's been super supportive with it. But at the same time, it's like, boy, is something going to start moving? Is something going to start moving? And then all of a sudden it does. And it's like, it's a relief. It's like, okay, I can do this, and
Yeah,
I can take it as far as I want to.
yeah, dude. And I can see that belief all over your face, dude. Like you just kind of light up, and it's like, yeah, I can fucking do this. Like we can take
Yeah.
this to the moon if we want. That's
Yeah. I
great, dude.
mean,
That's awesome.
my biggest hurdle now is, I mean, confidence really. If I'm feeling confident, it's awesome, and it's hard to feel confident all the time with it. Some days you'll be sourcing and it's not as fruitful as you'd like, but you have to just consistency is the key.
Yeah. Would you say there was something like a moment that clicked for you? Because I remember you were starting with wholesale, like you said, you had some sales, and then you kind of stalled out, and then
Yep.
you kind of just all of a sudden just took off. Like, was there a moment
Yeah.
that things just started to click and everything just kind of started to fall into place?
Yeah, honestly, it was probably when I was starting to go into the arbitrage stuff and I was looking at ungating different things, and I was kind of getting my butt kicked and, different things. And all of a sudden, a couple of them came through, and it's like, all right, now I got these. Let's go. And that's kind of what it was. That's where it started is, you get some of these bigger brands that you can sell, and there's not always a lot of competition on them. On the
Mhm.
ones that I was able to get on, there wasn't much competition, and it was able to take off from there.
Yeah, I think ungating is huge. I've always been big on ungating. I think it's such
Hmm.
a easy barrier of entry, easy separation from the competition. Because, like you said,
Right.
if you get those right brands in the right niches, there's nobody there, right? And I
Yeah.
won't say which brands you got into, but I remember you were looking at some of the more popular brands, and then we kind of talked like, hey, if you can find something that's a little bit more niche, that less known, it's like there's a lot of money there. Because the brands that you were
Yeah.
selling, I'm like, I've never sold those brands and I was like, that's great. Like, and I've been seeing that a lot lately. It's like people are finding little niches here and there, and it's like so profitable because nobody's looking there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to do Nike, of course, and I wouldn't turn down the opportunity if there was the right thing. But honestly, I can't get ungated for it, so
Hmm.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I've had to ungate other things, and it's paying off, and I don't have to deal with 50 or 60 other sellers like I would on some Nike listings.
Yeah, dude. Some of the listings that you've had me check for you, it's like 10 sellers, ton of profit. And
Hmm.
there's only ever been like 10, 15 sellers, right? And it's like some of
Right,
those like Nike listings, like, yeah, you can find a lot of products. It's like, but you're gonna be competing with a lot of people, and that price is gonna go down at some point.
right, right,
Not that it's not fruitful and not valuable to get ungated, but yeah, like you said, you tried some of them and they didn't work out, and I think that's what a lot of people use as an excuse, like, oh, I can't get ungated, right? They have that one failure and they're like, okay, I'm
right,
done. Like, I can't ungate in this, I can't ungate in that, and it's like, I mean, look, dude, you just stayed persistent and you got ungated in the things that you could and you made it work.
right. Like I said, I was getting my butt kicked, and I reached out. You gave me, a couple pointers on how I can reply to the case and different things, and whatnot, and kind of make my argument for why I meet the requirements. And once I learned how to do that, it was like, okay, I got ungated here, got ungated here, got ungated here, and it was that changed the game.
How far along do you think you'd be in your progress right now if you never got into the program? So let's say you just try to find everything on Google, find everything on YouTube. Like, how far along do you think you'd get or you'd be at this moment?
And I'm 100% honest, I would have never placed a wholesale order, for that kind of money. There's 0% chance. I maybe would have placed a couple $100 order somewhere, for some arbitrage thing and totally guessed at it. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, looking back if I never took this course, there's a good chance I wouldn't have even tried. I wouldn't have trusted, the free YouTube stuff and all that. Not that it's not valuable, but there's a reason these courses cost some money.
Yeah.
You learn some stuff that you don't learn on YouTube, and I knew that going in, so I would have kind of always had in the back of my mind like, what am I missing? And
Mhm.
probably that probably would have held me back.
That's a good point that you make. It's like the YouTube stuff's great. My YouTube stuff's great. Everybody's YouTube stuff's great. It's not the same as having somebody kind of in the trenches with you along the
Right,
process because it's like
right,
YouTube videos are a snippet in time. It's like your business is this whole path and it's like YouTube's right here, right? And it's
right,
like all of these other pieces that you need to figure out and it's like it's impossible to put it all in one video and it's like when you have somebody there with you, it's like you're always kind of pushing forward like we've talked about before, dude. That's
hmm,
great. I'm glad the program's working for you and it's worked so well for you.
yeah. It's
Uh
been life changing, honestly.
Dude, that's amazing. That's why I do this. Like, I love that. I love that right there. It's like never had a business, skeptical, never made a dollar online. It's like, okay, we're making money now, and we can
Right.
make way more. It just gives you like this sense of control over your life.
Right.
Okay, so give me a little bit of tactical advice for the people watching. People come on here and they say, can't find a first product. I can't find anything. Everything's gated. There's no profitable inventory. Kind of tell me what you did to find your first product and then, the main sourcing methods that you focus on.
Yeah, so like I said, first product was on Chewy, manual sourcing, but I had to look for a decent amount of time, find something on there that I was ungated in. And it's hard to get ungated and everything right away. So, I mean, looking online, trying to find like a free list of ASINs to ungate, things like that. I did some of that, or different like Discord groups. Sometimes you'll find something that'll have like a free list. So kind of going through lists like that, and just because you'll not even so much that you're finding super good brands on there, but there'll be brands on there that you would have never thought of. So that's been helpful for me, is just seeing these different brand names, because if I didn't see them in front of me, I would have never thought of them.
Yeah.
So that's helped me there for sure. And then outside of that, I typically use KPF, just because I like to have the control of filtering out competing with Amazon, and I can't do that storefront stocking. So I feel
Mhm.
like it gets me there a little bit quicker. And I definitely need to improve a storefront stocking, because I know it's a valuable sourcing method. But typically I stick with KPF right now, and it works good for me.
Okay. Yeah. Those are amazing methods, dude. That's good advice. So if somebody's on the fence about joining the Wholesale Underground, the program that you've just gone through, what would you have to say about?
Yeah, I mean, I would 100% recommend it. If anyone ever asked me, and said like, "Hey, I want to get into selling on Amazon," I would send them to this course. But the value you get, in my opinion, far exceeds what you're paying up front for it. I mean, it's you'll learn so much information, but then the access that we get to you is really invaluable, in my opinion. So I would
Cool.
100% recommend it.
All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that interview. And if you guys want to work with me one on one and be part of this mentorship group that Scott and a lot of my clients are part of that are getting very, very fast results, go ahead and click that first link in the description, and it's going to give you all of the details that you need. I'll see you guys in that next video.